Hello, everybody. In this lesson, we will learn the control circuit for inching forward rotation of three-phase asynchronous motors. Through the learning of this lesson, we can correctly install and repair the electrical control circuit of the CA6140 lathe. Firstly, let's learn the installation steps and process requirements for the electrical control circuit of the CA6140 lathe. The first step is to select and inspect components and electrical equipment. 1. Complete electrical equipment and components, and inspect their specifications and quality one by one. 2. According to the capacity, route and requirements of the motor, as well as the installation dimensions of each component, correctly select the specifications of wires, types and quantities of wire channels, terminal boards, control boards, fasteners, etc. The second step is to fix the electrical components and wiring slots on the control board, and mark them with the same code as on the circuit diagram near the electrical components. When installing the wiring duct, it should be horizontal and vertical, arranged neatly and evenly, installed firmly, and convenient for wiring, etc. The third step is to wire the front slot of the control board and cover the coating sleeve at the end of the wire, according to the process requirements for wiring in the front slot of the board. The fourth step is to fix and wire the components outside the control board according to the electrical location diagram and wiring diagram shown in the figure. 1. Choose a reasonable wire route and prepare for the support of wire channels. 2. A coating sleeve with the same wire number as the circuit diagram should be installed on the wire head of the external wire of the control box. Appropriate allowance should be left for movable wire channels. 3. Place spare wires in the channel according to regulations. Step 5. Self-inspection. 1. Check whether the wiring of the circuit is correct and whether the grounding channel has continuity according to the circuit diagram. 2. Check if the setting value of the thermal relay and the specification of the melt in the fuse meet the requirements. 3. Check the insulation resistance of the motor and circuit. 4. Check if the installation of the motor is firm, and if the connection with the production machinery transmission device is reliable. 5. Clean up the installation site. Step 6. Power on test run. 1. Connect the power supply and jog to control the start of each motor to check if the rotation direction of each motor meets the requirements. 2. Power on idle test run. During idle testing, it is necessary to carefully observe the normal operation of all electrical components, circuits, motors, and transmission devices. If any abnormalities are found, the power should be immediately cut off for inspection. After adjustment or repair, the power can be turned on again for testing. Precautions for power on test run. 1. The grounding of the motor and circuit should meet the requirements. It is strictly prohibited to use metal hoses as grounding channels. 2. When wiring is carried out outside the control box, wires must be run through the wire channel or laid in the wire channel inside the machine toolbase, and there should be no joints in the middle of the wires. 3. When performing during rapid feed, it is important to place the moving parts in the middle of the stroke to prevent them from colliding with the front or rear frame of the vehicle. 4. When testing, first turn on the power switch and then press the start button. When parking, press the stop button first and then turn off the power switch. 5. The power on test drive must be carried out under the supervision of the teacher and must strictly follow the safety operating procedures. Observation and maintenance. The teacher manually sets natural fault points on the CA6140 lathe, conducts demonstration maintenance, analyzes while checking, until the fault is eliminated. The following points should be noted when setting up human faults in practical training. 1. The artificially set fault must simulate the natural fault that occurs during the use of the lathe. 2. Faults cannot be set by changing the circuit or replacing electrical components. 3. Setting faults should not damage circuit components, damage the aesthetics of the circuit, or set fault points that are prone to personal or equipment accidents. 4. The fault set can be easy first and then difficult, with a single fault set first and then transitioning to 2 or more faults. When setting more than one fault point, try not to conceal the fault phenomenon from each other as much as possible. When observing the teacher's demonstration of maintenance, pay attention to the following maintenance steps and requirements. 1. Power on test. Pay attention to observing the fault phenomenon. 2. Based on the fault phenomenon, use logical analysis method to preliminarily determine the fault range based on the circuit diagram, and mark the minimum fault range in the circuit diagram. 3. Take appropriate inspection methods to identify the fault points and correctly troubleshoot them. 4. After the maintenance is completed, conduct a power-on test run and keep maintenance records. 5. The teacher sets known fault points, analyzes the fault phenomenon under the guidance of the teacher, and adopts correct inspection steps and maintenance methods for maintenance. 6. The teacher sets 2 artificial natural fault points in the circuit and independently inspects them according to the inspection steps and maintenance methods. 3 maintenance precautions. 1. Before maintenance, it is necessary to carefully read and analyze the circuit diagram, proficiently grasp the principles and functions of each control link, and carefully observe teacher's demonstration maintenance. 2. The use of tools and instruments should meet the usage requirements. 3. During maintenance, it is strictly prohibited to expand the fault range or generate new fault points. It is not allowed to repair faults by replacing components or changing circuits. 4. If there is a power outage, the power should be checked. During live maintenance, there must be guidance teachers on site to ensure the safety of electricity use. At the same time, make good training records. That's the end of the content for this class. See you next time.